We are here at another episode of Canadian Business Owner Conversation Series at Collision 2024, and we have our special guest to welcome again to the conversation, LSP with Zoho Canada, and we would like to hear from her. Welcome, LSP.
Thank you very much, Rasheed, for having me on the show again.
You're very welcome. We are very excited to see a very prominent presence of Zoho at Collision. Tell us about that and what are the things that we are expecting to see here?
Well, we have been participating in Collision for close to 3 years now, and it's always been a very energetic place to be at. The kind of footfalls that we have here and the conversations, and also the reception that we have for the master classes that we do. Yesterday, for example, they had to close down the room because they could not accommodate more people. So the kind of reception and the kind of engagement that we have here at Collision has been something that's always been encouraging for us, and that's why we are back here this year again for the third time.
That's great to know, and it's also awesome to see that your leadership, personally, and leadership of Zoho as a company, and thought leadership and teaching the generations of entrepreneurs through master classes and paving the future for them. And it's very important, especially at a time that Canadian businesses need to see where is the brighter path forward. Your leadership personally and the Zoho Canada and Zoho Corporation leadership in guiding the entrepreneurs in Canada, the Canadian businesses, through master classes, through other thought leaderships, to see the outlook of the future, especially at a time that there's a lot of uncertainty in different areas. We are very happy to see the great work of Zoho through the master classes and the other initiatives that you take.
I think it's a very reasonable thing to do. While I do thank you for those accolades there, but honestly, I think it's about engaging with the businesses, engaging with the entrepreneurs that really allows us to understand where they're coming from, what are the challenges that they're facing. While we may talk about a few things here and there about how we can optimize, how we can help optimize processes and how Zoho can help them, it's always important that we keep our ears close to the ground and understand what's happening with businesses in Canada. So I think it's only reasonable that we do it.
Yeah, no, it's very important, and it is quite clear to see the difference of approach that Zoho takes. Zoho always takes the community approach, and from the previous conversations we had, that I remember you mentioned that every user of Zoho software is a customer, is not a product.
Oh yes,
and that's important because only a leadership as a company or as a corporation who looks at their users or community members as people, they appreciate and they take the community approach. Otherwise, then we know how it is with the privacy issues, with so many other things. So we really appreciate that, and I'm sure the business community can also appreciate the fact that their privacy is a priority for Zoho.
Again, I think it is the most reasonable thing to do, is to respect people. Now, today, in this day and age, we're talking about governments talking about data sovereignty and treating data as citizens, right? It's taken so long for people to understand the construct of what data would mean for a nation, for a business, and so on. We could just stand back when we started this SaaS venture in 2005. It's a critical part of our constitution when it comes to how we treat user information. And again, I will say this again, I've said this many times, but I'll never tire saying this. Our customers are customers. They are not our products. They pay us to use our services, and we give them a service in return. We will never do ads. We will never use their information to train our AI machine learning layers. It will only be consent-based. Anything and everything with Zoho will be consent-based, and it is not ever at any point going to back away from this conviction and from this core identity that we have as a privacy-sensitive company.
Thank you for your leadership in that, and outlook of businesses, and as we mentioned, We recently saw the report that Zoho has done on the economic outlook by the businesses. Can you share some highlights from that? What were some findings? What
Yes,
are
most definitely, Rashid. This is something that we've been doing on a specific cadence. We probably do this every quarter here in Canada, or every 2 quarters. We do the Canadian Business Outlook Survey. And this is something that we've been doing for the last 3 years consistently. And even this time, what we see in Canadian businesses is the optimism. Close to over 60% of our businesses that we surveyed, the over 60% of businesses remain very optimistic about business prospects. And I think that is the number one takeaway for me, because businesses have adapted. The last 4 years have been most trying for any business across the globe. We went from a pandemic to a war on talent to the quiet cutting to the quiet quitting and all those things. Businesses have been through a lot. And consistently, what has come up in these surveys is how businesses have adapted and how they have been resilient across all these 4 years to remain positive. So I think that is the one biggest takeaway. Now, I do say that with a touch of caution here, because this is for the first time we saw the optimism overall generally being high has still gone down in comparison to the previous report. Now, I would say that, it's because I think businesses have adapted and done everything that they could, or played every trick in the book to keep their head above water. But I think there is something more that they expect from the economy to kind of bounce back.
This is very encouraging to see the level of optimism, and it's gonna build on this momentum. So the journey of hope will further elevate, and then and it will overcome some of the challenges that are part of the realities of doing business
100%.
in where we are and the times that we are.
Yeah, and I think also one of the recent developments that we saw is the rate cut by the Bank of Canada. I think these are measures that will slowly and surely boost the confidence of entrepreneurs and business owners.
So Zoho is always coming up with great ways for adding value to business communities across Canada and, of course, globally. But tell us what is new about Zoho, what is coming up, what are we looking forward to?
Okay, two things that I'm excited to talk about. One is we recently launched CRM for everyone. Now, this is a interesting take on how we are doing and offering a CRM, where it just stops being a tool for sales aging, but anybody and everybody within the organization who has a relationship to be had, who has a task to be done in the context of a customer, can use Zoho CRM. It's not only for the sales team, it could be for the marketing team that is perhaps doing a customer case study. They can manage and track the progress of this entire project within the construct of CRM. Somebody who wants to do, let's say, project management, let's say there's a service that was sold to a customer and it has to be managed in the construct of the CRM, it can be done from within the CRM. So we are basically pushing the boundaries where CRM now is no longer just a repository of customer information. It's also the layer where you take actions pertaining to the customer. So I would strongly recommend people to take a look at what Zoho for CRM for everyone would mean to their business. That's the first thing I want to highlight here. The second thing is the next biggest thing for me is very soon in October, we will have our annual user conference, Zoholics, here in Canada in Montreal. So it's going to be happening on the 8th and 9th of October. And if anybody wants to learn more about Zoho, it's going to be a huge opportunity for 2 days. We are going to be, mixing with like-minded individuals who are users of Zoho. This is more of an educational event. This is not a big marketing buzz, but this is all about learning how Zoho can help your business. And you will get to hear from the experts of Zoho experts and other experts in the field who are implementing these solutions, Zoho solutions, across different verticals and so on. So it's a great opportunity, and I would welcome anybody to go check out Zoholics.com, and they can sign up for the event, and hopefully I'll get to see them at Montreal.
That's amazing. So the CRM for everyone touches the reality that relationships are the core of everything we do. It's not the job of salespeople at a company. Everyone involved has a touch point, and uniting all of them at one centering system and platform through Zoho CRM for everyone is a great asset for businesses to look into and make sure they have this as part of their growth strategy for the entire team, not just for the sales and follow-up teams. And Zoholics is one of the, I personally have experienced it in the last year in Toronto, is one of the well-organized, well-orchestrated programs that focuses on the value of a company who cares as a community of support providers, experts who understands the depth and of the needs of the organizations, the teams, and offer the solution that matters. So definitely, it's not a marketing thing. It's a learning opportunity. It's a connecting opportunity. I've been there myself. I've spent the time and explored it, and look forward to the one on October 8th and 9th in Montreal and Zoholics.ca.
Zoholics.com.
Zoholics.com. We will put the link at the show notes so that we can all learn more and see each other over there.
Thank you very much for your kind words, Rasheed. As always, a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, LSP. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for your continuous support of the business community and Canadian Business Owner Magazine, and for the great work that Zoho does and the leadership. Thank you.
Thank you.